Hello everyone. The goal of this video clip is not to introduce a formal lecture, rather to bring some idea and use it as a taster of those who are interested in business analytics program and the topic of business analytics that we cover here. The overview of the program will give you some idea about what we cover. For example, what are the software that we will be using, both from industrial standard or open source. We will also be looking at different possible career trajectory that you could take, taking into account different modules. You will start to develop some idea about using computational methods such as the programming language. You will also be able to study things that are rather applied. For example, put your knowledge into practice by working on industry or real world led projects. Or alternatively, you also benefit from the expertise of research folks, academics, as well as those from other sectors such as the industry. In order to get more details, please feel free to visit our website to get this information in detail. One of the things we would be very interested in bring to your site is the business analytics practice. For example, this is a multidisciplinary course, if we would put that way. So it's a combination of various different skills, including information technology such as computational methods or let's say computational methods or coding, if you computer programming, if you would put that way. We will also need certain level of quantitative methods such as mathematics and statistics. Although the primary goal is not to become a computer scientist, software engineers, or mathematicians, these knowledge are still required for us to survive in the modern business world, as is ever changing, and we deal with a lot of digitized content. Furthermore, we needed the domain knowledge in this particular case because it's a program organized within the context of business. So basically, it's a combination of business knowledge, quantitative methods, plus the computational methods such as the IT skills. So these are the three elements we should focus on throughout the learning trajectory when you enroll in this program. We would also like to talk about paradigms so that you have a bit idea about the business analytics landscape in different kind of paradigms or different issues that we look at. For example, from a data-driven perspective, quantitatively or sometimes qualitatively, we would like to think about from the data what happens, why did it happen, what will happen, and how can we make it happen to facilitate our understanding, analysis, projection slash prediction, and the decision making over different things, so that we could develop different set of skills within the scope of business analytics. And this is in line with many of the industry standard things and so on. While this might be a little bit abstract, it will be interesting to look at different business scenarios. After all, it's business analytics. For example, how will we predict customer sales in the company? How will we predict hospital readmissions after patients being discharged? How will we explain customer churn? Well, if you're not familiar with the vocabulary term, is that within certain time frame, the existing customer will stop using, buying, purchasing our product or services, meaning that they either unsubscribe or they go to a different business. And this is something not desired, so it's a kind of event that people would like to either detect or explain, right? Moreover, every business are keen to explain and predict customer satisfaction. They would also like to optimize customer waiting time. For example, whenever people get certain opinion, let's say they're not satisfied, they start to call certain numbers, and for example, they call customer service or hotline, and you don't want them to wait for a very long time. In addition, we will also look at organizational issues. For example, how do we adopt different information systems, such as the one for healthcare or any other systems. Here is just one example, and their impact on stakeholder outcomes, such as patients, customers, users, things and so on. So we would, in different scenario, we would be interested in understanding, predicting, explaining, making decisions about different scenarios, and we want to do different kind of case studies using different kind of analytical techniques. More specifically, in the realm of predictive analytics, we're interested to use the historical data, let's say the history, to predict whether a certain event will happen or not. It's quite widely used in the domain of data mining, for example, or knowledge discovery. It is also some of the techniques that we use in so-called machine learning family, which you would likely to be more familiar with that once you join the program. We would also hope that we can learn from historical data to predict or to solve at least two major problems, whether it's a categorical outcome, whether certain event would happen or not. For instance, whether customer would purchase, not purchase, customer would turn, customer would not turn, right? These are the binary cases. Of course, we could have more different outcome, or we are interested in predicting numerical target using method like a regression, for example, the amount of sales. There are many applications, and here the examples are simply non-exhaustive. For example, in marketing science, we have examples about various domains about customer relationship management, customer lifetime values. How do we predict the sale activities? How do we predict customer churn? How do we use that to enforce the current direct marketing campaign? In the finance sectors, we would like to estimate the risk and hopefully develop a useful model for that. We have many other interesting applications, for example, in healthcare as well, that potentially your research would be able to apply, basically, or let's say your analytical skills. Now, there's one example about how we use certain statistical / machine learning models for us to use for credit scoring models. We can use the historical data which were available from the previous business transactions, and we can use data to actually teach the statistical model, machine learning model, to actually train them, so that when a new instance comes, when a loan application comes, or a new cases that we need to investigate, we will be able to develop a understanding from our algorithm that would help us to predict potentially whether the outcome will be good or bad, so that we can get some informed decision whether what we should do to proceed with this case when we look at if a loan is going to be default or not. Of course, this is not the only example. We have many different cases, and this is one of the typical ones that are available in the context of business analytics. So I hope these examples and the paradigms are informative for you so that you can develop a better understanding about the field. Thank you very much.